Okay, now once you've installed the extension, the next step is to set up your classes in your rooms beforehand. Now, one thing I like to do, one little neat thing I like to do is I like to make the extension available in my bar over here, my bar in my Chrome browser. So what you can do is you can just say, here's a little kind of a convenient tip. So I click on this puzzle piece, this brings up the extension manager. And if I just pin it, see this tack? If I pin that, then the breakout room extension, which is this purple square with a B in it, that's going to be permanently on your browser's bar over here. So you can access it just one step, saving a step, not a big deal, but kind of just a convenience thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get set up. So if you click on that extension, it opens up another window, kind of a small sized Chrome window. And this is the control panel for your breakout rooms. Now, before you do anything else, first of all, make sure that if you look here, okay, this right here, make sure that you're signed in with your Kalani HS account. If you're not signed in, if this is not your Kalani HS account, that means you're still signed into some of your other Gmail, Google accounts, and you might want to sign out of those first and then sign in only to your Kalani HS account. Otherwise, again, you could get kind of hassles when you try to open stuff up. Okay, so let's do the setup. So we've got to set up our classes and then however many rooms we want to have available in those classes. Okay, so up here, you see this row of buttons up here near the top of the extension, not near the top of the dashboard, the control panel. We're going to start with going to courses. We're going to click that one there. Okay, so what it has is it has kind of just a default course called My Course. It has a description. Now you could change that. So if say I wanted to just put my own course name, say I want to make like a faculty room. So if I say my course is going to be Kalani Faculty, and the description you could put one if you want to, or you could just leave it blank, up to you. Okay, and then if you want to add, so you would probably here, you would put all your periods, all your classes, your periods that you're going to want to use breakout rooms with. So I could add another one to do that. You click on this green plus sign here, and you see it opens up another row in the table here. So you can go ahead and put in whatever classes you want. So say I want to put in, I don't know, say I want to put in a class for my programming class. And then maybe for the description, I'll put a period. So this would be period one, say. Okay, and in the same way, you can fill out whatever your class schedule is, whatever classes you're going to want to use rooms with. Once you've finished with that, then what you want to do is you want to click on this blue button to the right of the green add plus sign. That will save all your classes. Okay, so make sure you save it. Once you set up your classes, make sure you save it by clicking on this blue button here. Okay, now if there's a class that if you accidentally put in a class and you want to come back and delete it, you can click on this red minus sign here. That'll delete it. Okay, but the main ones are adding a new class is the plus sign and saving it is the disk icon, floppy icon right next to it here. So once you've set up your classes, then the next thing to do is set up your rooms within your classes. So however many breakout rooms you want to have available. So next we're going to go to the tab up here that says rooms to the left of where it says classes. Okay, so this is where you set up your rooms. Okay, now first what you want to do is you want to make sure you're in the right course. So if you see this kind of pink drop down here where I'm hovering, if I click on that, that'll bring up a drop down with all the courses you just created. So make sure you choose the course that you want. So let me just keep Kalani Faculty. Okay, now when you have your rooms, you have your main room, which is the main meet room where everybody gathers, and then you have your breakouts. So first we want to set up the main room. We want to make sure that the extension has the right link for your main room. Okay, so to get that link, the easiest way to do that is, so let's say I go back to your classroom, say I'm at like the Kalani faculty classroom. Underneath it, this is the link in your banner where the kids would go into your main room, your main classroom. So the easiest way to copy this is if you go on it with your mouse cursor and you right click on it, that brings up a menu like this, and you just copy link address. Okay, that'll just copy that entire link. Okay, then you go back to the dashboard and where it says main right here in this space to the right of it, you control V, you paste that link in. Okay, that'll be your main room. And see how it changes from purple to light blue? Okay, that's how it distinguishes the main room from any of your other breakouts. Okay, so that's one little setup that you've got to do. So again, you go back to your Google Classroom page, the link on your banner where kids go for your main room, right click on that, copy link address, and then go back to the dashboard and then just paste that in next to where it says main. Okay, now once you've done that, then you can create as many breakout rooms as you want. Okay, so just like in the other one, if I click the plus sign, okay, notice it gives me a new room. Notice it's purple. So the light blue is the main room, and the purple ones are your breakouts. Okay, so if I click on inside that purple, I can name it whatever I want. So I'll say like group one. Okay, then let me make a new one. So let me say group two. It'll be my next breakout room. And then I'll make another one, group three, and so on. So you can make as many breakout rooms as you want. Now keep in mind, depending on your hardware configuration, how powerful your computer is, and the state of the internet and so forth, there is kind of a practical limit. At some point, if you have too many breakout rooms open, your computer is going to really slow down. Okay, so that we've kind of found by trial and error that upper limit is around 6, 7-ish, 8-ish rooms. Once you have more than that, then things slow down and you just kind of freeze and sometimes you crash. Okay, but for now, just make 3 rooms. Now you're wondering, well, what do I put in those spaces? Do I put links there? Well, no, it'll automatically generate the links for you. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you go back up here to the right of that plus sign, the green button to add a new room. You click on save again. Okay, so it saves it, and notice what happened is it auto-generated all these kind of automatically generated links for those breakout rooms. Okay, so those are kind of just auto-generated. Okay, now here's another thing. Once you've got everything set up, so you've set up all your classes, you set up all your rooms within your classes, here's one thing that I would suggest. So in addition to saving it, okay, like we just did, I would suggest you export it so that if your computer crashes, your browser crashes, whatever, you can always import those settings again so you don't have to start from scratch. So the way you do that is you go on the far right here, these buttons up here, see this black button right here? Okay, this is the export button. So if I click on that, okay, that'll allow you to save your settings in a separate file on your computer so that if you ever need to reinstall the browser or reinstall the extension from scratch, you can import your settings and you won't have to do everything from scratch again. Okay, so it kind of gives you this kind of default file name, myrooms.txt. You can change that if you want. And if you click export, that'll bring up a file chooser, and you can choose wherever you want to. You can choose wherever you want to save it. So save it somewhere on your computer. Okay, and I would suggest you do that just again in case you need to start over, in case you need to reinstall the extension or reinstall your browser, you'll have those saved. Okay, if you need to import those, so if your browser crashed and you need to reinstall the extension, you want to bring in those settings, you would do the same thing except you would import them in this kind of dark pinkish area. You import them and you click on that. That'll bring up a file chooser. You find that extension file that you saved and then you just bring it in. Okay, so it'll work without having done that, but just kind of save yourself some time and hassle in the future. Okay, so I got my got my classes all set up, got my rooms all set up. Once we've done that, then it's time. Now we're ready to go to town. So now you can set it up so that you can have your kids go into those rooms. You can have those rooms open up. You can do all sorts of fun stuff. So let's take a look at how you do that.